What's up, people? In this video, who told me? Emily De La Cruz, you should react to oat fiber! Exclamation point, exclamation point. I don't know who oat fiber is, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I don't know who any of these people are, really. If you guys have any other recommendations for videos or YouTubers you want me to take a look at, let me know in a comment. Bikram yoga is the worst type of yoga. Interesting. Let's just take a little look here. Okay, here we go. Let's watch this. Oat fiber.
Today's celery juice is ginger flavored.
Sorry.
So I would say this is probably the worst one I've tried yet. The ginger definitely does a better job like covering the celery taste, but the ginger in and of itself is just too much to drink a glass of like ginger juice. So this is gonna be a no from me. So I'm just prepping my food for the day. I've got some German cucumber salad, some blueberries, and for later I am making Odin with daikon. Hello. So I just got home from work. Didn't film anything at work today, and really it was nice like not having that stress to think about like filming every little thing that goes in my mouth. I will tell you what I had. I had either 3 or 4 mugs of tea, 2 in the morning and then...
Oh my god. So I have a friend. We don't really talk so much anymore, but you know, we're still friends, I guess. Just on a break. Anyway, this friend watches a lot of YouTube, and back before I kind of started making videos again, I was just like talking about making videos. He would send me these clips or these YouTube videos that like had done really well. And these like popular YouTubers with their popular channels, and like I think he was sending it to me to like give me ideas, right? Like look at this person and do what they do because they're successful. I mean, you know, some of the stuff like he would send me like some guy like reviewing Bentleys, like stuff that I couldn't actually do, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know if he was just kind of like throwing it in my face or if he was actually trying to help me. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I remember one time he sent me this guy who, he was like he was like a professional skier or like he was like an ex-Olympic athlete. This like European guy with this like long hair, had like a supermodel girlfriend, and he just somehow like hooked up with this guy, like videographer, right? Some like young kid. And basically the young kid said to him, I'm sure some of you know who I'm talking about, but anyway, the guy, I don't know if this guy even still makes videos. The guy said to him, he was like, hey man, you're like a famous guy, you have this cool life, I'm a videographer, what if we team up and we'll make vlogs, and I'll like help you make your vlog, just let me like hang out with you and fucking let me live your glamorous lifestyle also, I guess, and I'll do all the work for the vlogs, and I'll film and I'll edit and blah blah blah. And so apparently the guy said yes, and my friend would send me these videos every so often, and the guy he was growing very fast. Like every time he would send me a video, he would have like another 1,000 subscribers, right? And I would watch these videos sometimes. This is before I actually even really watched any YouTube. I generally don't watch YouTube unless I'm researching something, right? But what I noticed from watching these vlogs was that they were so boring. They were so boring, right? Despite the fact that like, yeah, there was good editing and like, you know, good production quality, like they looked good and drone footage and all that shit. But like they were just like, it was just so boring. And what I realized, I told him that, I was like, listen man, like this is cool. And they lived in like Montenegro. I don't know if I said that. And they had this like awesome beach house, possibly. Is there a beach there? I think there might be. Anyway, on paper they had like a really cool life, but when I would watch the video, it was so boring. It was so boring. And I told him afterwards, because he kept sending me these videos, and I was like, look bro, all these videos you're sending me, they're all fucking boring as shit. Like, okay fine, they're famous and popular, but they're so boring. And he's like, look man, everything is boring. They're all boring. All these YouTubers are boring because everybody in the world is boring. And I guess like once I realized that, at the time I didn't really realize that for what it was. Now when I think everybody's boring, it kind of like gives gives me hope, because I think I'm also boring. So like if everybody's boring and I'm also boring, then I might as well just make videos anyway, because everyone's fucking boring anyway. So who cares? But at the time, it kind of like made me a little bit sad. It's like, oh man, if this fucking guy with this cool life is boring, then what chance do I have? My life's even more boring. And that's what I was thinking when I was watching this girl. It's like, I had tea for breakfast. I just came back from work. The celery juice has ginger. It's like, what is that? What am I watching here? Bikram yoga is the worst type of yoga. Get to the point.
Then I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And then for lunch, I had cucumber salad. I've had this cucumber salad a couple times on my channel, but this is the seasoning packet I use. It's German dill cucumber salad mix, and the instructions are to use oil, but I always use it plain. And I count this in chronometer as 9 grams of sugar because it weighs 9 grams, and the ingredients are mostly sugar, and the nutritional info is in German. So that's what I had for lunch, this plus a cucumber, plus also some blueberries. And now I'm home. I'm just gonna have dinner. I have made Odin. Here it is, ready to eat. So I buy an Odin kit from a Asian grocer, and what it is these Japanese fish cakes that are like a mixture of like fish.
So fun fact, my last name is actually Odin. What is Odin food? Odin. Wow, that's even how you spell my last name. Interesting. Oh, I guess this is Udon in Japan, like U-D-E-N. I didn't know it was Odin. Wow, how about that? This is actually my last name, my real last name. My name's not actually Yalapapi, for those of you who actually thought my name was Yalapapi. That's not a name. That's an alias. Odin, blah, blah, blah. It's like some noodle shit, huh? Okay. Huh. So, interesting. I mean, not actually interesting at all, but, I don't know. What am I supposed to say about this? Yeah, I wonder if she's going to mention the Bikram yoga at all, because we're almost 50. We're like a third into this video. She's talking about her fucking frozen soup kit. You know who I feel like sometimes? Like, wow, I'm really dating myself here, but there used to be a movie reviewer called, there's like a movie reviewer duo called Siskel and Ebert. And they would like, they had like different opinions about movies, basically. So some of them would like, this is like where the saying comes from, like, I give it 2 thumbs up, right? Because one of them would give it a thumbs up, and the other one, you know, whatever. Basically, at the end of their review, they'd say, I give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And sometimes when I watch these videos, I feel like I'm like one of those guys, because I'm like, I don't know who these people are, and I kind of prefer to not know who they are, because I think both of them even said this at one point, or I read this in some interview of theirs, where they said when they go in to watch a movie, they like to know as little about it as possible before going in, because they don't want to go in with any sort of bias. They don't want to know who's in the movie. I mean, they're both dead now, unfortunately, but they don't want to know who's in the movie. They don't want to like know anything about it. They don't want to know who directed it. They want to know literally nothing about it, so that when they go in, they can give a proper, I guess that they were like the original like reaction video people. And that's kind of how I feel now. Like, I mean, actually, I guess she kind of looks a little bit like Scarlett Johansson. And I'm sure she's very nice, and she's vegan, good for her. But this is so boring. I don't know. Who watches this? How do you even know who this person is?
Paste and starch and things, but they're fairly low in calories. And then this also has like a seasoning packet to become the broth. And you just mix that with daikon radish and let it cook for a really, really long time. And the daikon gets like super soft and juicy. I just got home from yoga, and now I'm hydrating with half of a papaya. I think I'm kind of over Bikram. Like, really, I was never into Bikram. It's just that the studio that's like super close to my house and has a convenient schedule is Bikram, so I've been doing Bikram. But I think once my monthly subscription expires, I'm going to maybe try some other yoga places. And like, it's not that Bikram is hot, it's that the series of poses, number one, gets boring because you always do the same poses, but I just don't feel like Bikram has enough support, because I have trouble in triangle pose, and I just get told I'm doing it wrong, but I never get offered a modified version. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, that's not Bikram, that's the teacher. No, the teacher at this yoga studio I've been going to, she's like so sweet and understanding, and will really try to be helpful, but it's like the Bikram program itself doesn't really offer modification. The idea is like the instructor is just kind of following a script, and like if you don't really know what's going on, you just gotta kind of like look around you to figure out what other people are doing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try like more conventional.
So I've never done Bikram yoga, but from what I understand, it's basically kind of what she said. It's you do the same, I think it's like 26 poses or 22 poses or something like that, and it's the same every single time. Like there's only one class. That's why it's just called Bikram yoga, and it's also hot. You're supposed to do it in a hot room. So like, I don't care how well-rounded the program is. If you're doing the same exact thing every single workout, there's going to be a limit to like, I guess you'll get really good at those 26 poses, but don't you need more variety. You need like more variation in your, exercise stimulus or whatever. So, like I said, I've never done it. I've been instructed by girls who have done it before, mainly girls. And I don't know, when I did my yoga classes, I didn't even realize this, but I went to like probably one of the best yoga studios in the world, honestly, like commercial yoga studios in the West. Like I've never done a yoga class that's as good as what I would do pretty much any day of the week over there. So yeah, honestly, just like on accident, just went in there one day and started doing that. Yeah, the mark of a good yoga class is that the teacher, because you don't want to be corrected too much in yoga, and you don't want to not be corrected at all if you're obviously struggling. But a good yoga teacher will, a lot of people think yoga is just about like, they say like, okay, become one with the floor and like feel your body, blah, blah, blah. A good yoga class, they give you a lot of specific instruction regarding, I don't know, biomechanics, let's say. Like if you're in, what did she say, triangle pose, which is basically like, if I remember, is where you have your legs spread wide and you reach down one arm towards your front foot, right? And you put your other arm up like that. And a lot of people, they don't have the necessary flexibility, I guess, in their like side to be able to reach their arm up properly. So like a modification would be to bend your arm, and instead of trying to touch your foot, just put your arm or put your hand on your shin, I guess. I don't know, whatever. It's kind of hard to explain if you can't see it and don't know what you're talking about. Or yeah, I also don't know what I'm talking about, obviously. But anyway, like in any good yoga class, like the teacher will say, okay, now, move, like exhale as you go into triangle. And if you're having trouble, you can blah, 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 and they'll give you like an option for variation. Not with every single pose do they do that, but for the more difficult poses where, the teacher can see based on who's taking the class, people are likely to have a problem with that. They generally will offer variation. Plus, a lot of the time, the teacher will go around and they'll just kind of slightly adjust you, for everybody. It's not like they're like playing favorites with me and they only adjusted me. They adjust everybody, So yeah, I don't know. I know nothing about Bikram. Haven't ever really been so tempted to try it, just because I've heard it's only the same poses every single time, and like what's the point? I'd rather go to Equinox.
Conventional yoga. There is another studio that's kind of close to me, but it's not as close or as convenient. And like I really like the place I've been going has an 8 p.m. class, and that's like the perfect time of evening for me, because it's like after dinner, after I've like come home, I can run errands. It's like the point in the evening where it's still too soon to go to bed, but I've still done like all the stuff I need to do that evening. So I really like the 8 p.m. class, and I don't think the other studio that I'm thinking of has something like that. I think my options there are like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., something like that. But anyway, right now, half of a papaya.
How is this person famous? How many subscribers does this person have? 15,000. And me with my measly 1.7 thousand. I'm just curious. This person's only been making videos for 3 weeks and they already have 15,000 subscribers. How's this possible? Is this person famous on some other platform that I don't know about? January 18th, 2019. Oh, she must have deleted all of her videos. Interesting. Yeah, she must have deleted all her videos. Okay, I don't feel so bad. When is this? 6 months ago. All right. Or maybe she just regularly deletes all of her videos. Every month she deletes them all or something. I don't really know. Whatever. Anyway, this was very unstimulating. Like when I watch an unstimulating video like this, I have to I'm like, all right, like how can I make this interesting in some way? Like what can I possibly say that will make this interesting? Because like, what am I supposed to say? Like, I eat like my dill pickle seasoning in my packet and like it's mostly sugar. Oh, who told me to do this? You're a bad person. Emily De La Cruz, you get a thumbs down from me. No, I'm kidding. You get a thumbs up. Everybody gets a thumbs up if they tell me to watch a video. And if you have any videos that you want me to watch, leave me a comment. Peace.